Hello and welcome back to another episode of Untold Lives of Women with me, your host, the Nairobi Feminist. Before we go anywhere, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and also allow notifications so that you can be notified whenever we have a new episode. On today's episode, carrying on with the theme of rewriting your story, I read a quote that said, if you try to control everything, you lose and tend to not enjoy anything at all. As humans, one of the biggest things that we go through is challenging what we consider to be the way we want things to be versus what life has a way of showing us what is meant to be. And we always find it hard to let go of the things that we tend to want the most, but at the same time almost give up because life has a way of taking you to a different scripted life. And something that I've learned on my journey has been that, you can't always control a situation. And it's when you give up the control is when you tend to enjoy what life has to offer. And I was having a discussion and I was sharing some of the things that I've had to let go of. Not really let go, but really let go of my control towards things, because I tend to have a way of wanting everything to be perfect. Like sometimes I can be a control freak. But over the last couple of years, I've come to see that the most important lessons that you learn in life is when you truly live and accept every situation as it is and just go with the flow of things to see where it leads you, because we don't know how our story ends. We don't know what the journey is going to be like. We only have our experience of what we've gone through. And some of the most beautiful things always happen during the hardest times. And letting go of the things that we want doesn't mean that you've completely given up on what you want. It just means that you've hit a pause in the direction of what you thought you were going to go on. And the journey of life is simply that, allowing yourself to experience situations, to experience people, to experience every aspect of life without really holding on to the image of what we think it's supposed to be. It's like trying to control a situation, or trying to control how you want your children to experience life, or trying to control your situations at work, or trying to control the outcomes of different situations. And the more you do that, the harder it becomes when it doesn't go as planned. And one thing that I've seen is that when you give up the control, and when you give up wanting things to be a certain way, is when you truly experience life and truly experience the journey of life and truly experience and enjoy what happens along your journey. And your journey is something that you will experience. And in this life, you are your journey, but you shouldn't allow your journey to change the kind of person that you are. Your journey shouldn't make you angry, shouldn't make you sad. Of course it does, but at the same time, it's finding a way of just being at peace with every decision that you make, being at peace with every joy you experience, being at peace with every sorrow you experience, and just allowing it to be what it is, and not trying to read too much into what it could mean. Because sometimes, I think we've all gone through a period of time where we get into our own minds and we start to think, why was this done? Why did this happen? And you start to overthink a lot of things. And sometimes the answer is really just as simple as, it's just what was meant to happen. And I do believe that, everything that's meant to happen will happen, and you can't stop it from happening. You just have to learn through it all, live life to the fullest, and just accept that, you're on a journey. And on this journey, you're going to have different experiences and different encounters with different people. And it's just to make you a better person. It's just to make you see different aspects of yourself that you never thought you were going to experience. And yeah, I feel like that's what a lot of us don't, we take that for granted actually. We take for granted the little things in search of the big things. And sometimes it's in the little things that we find the most joy. So be back next week for the same time for a new episode. I love you for listening. Goodbye for now. The Nairobi Feminist.